Okay, my friends, this is a video about speaking to rookie men, old or young, that haven't lived yet in the Philippines, but are thinking of moving here or want a relationship with a woman here online, currently or not, or thinking about maybe getting a wife here or a woman in your life, whether you live here or not. So I have some advice for you I want you to consider. But I'm at one of my favorite places here in my little town. It's a cafe. I get my coffee here in my nice blue mug, some cold water. We had an earthquake the other day, so I'm glad the electric's back on so we can get cold water. But you can see it's an open face cafe, but it has some nice features, you know. I like it. They have some pictures up there as Elvis Presley. They do flowers here live, fresh, every day, and they have bouquets there that they're going to put fresh flowers in. What I'm trying to explain to you, if you're a rookie, oh, there's an earthquake. I gotta get out. Holy smokes. It's an earthquake again. Man, that was shaking. I'm moving right now. It's not too bad. The one the other day was so severe. If you would have saw videos of it, just shaking bad. But yeah, this is 2 days after the main earthquake. That's how bad the first earthquake was. This is 2 days after, and we're still getting significant, like 5 or 6 aftershocks on the Richter scale. I'm moving. My feet are moving right now. So everybody's trying to get out. Some of them are just, they don't care. They just stay right under the roof. That roof can collapse easily. I've seen roofs collapse in Gensan when the earthquake hit. Oh, it was devastating. But let me go back in, and so that's life here in the Philippines. You can't stay safe, you have to stay brave. If you want to come here and stay safe, you can't do that here. You can't do that anywhere. You need to have courage, which is a good character trait. I have a video chat about that. But emotional stability, mental stability, and financial stability are at least two things. And the third thing, I guess naivety is related to the mind, but you can't be naive and come over here. You're going to get destroyed. You got to have a little shrewdness and harmless wisdom. But a mental stability, a lot of us, almost all of us, are going to be a basket case at some point in our life. Through a loss, through a divorce, through somebody dying that we love, a dog or whatever. It just throws us off the deep end. Some of us can get so distressed, so downcast, so depressed. And these are things we can hope. We can confidently expect that we can hope something good's going to happen in our life to make us be better, feel better, or recover. We can hope for that. We can confidently expect, it's a good character vibe to have hope. Something good can happen. Feelings don't last forever down here. Okay, the building's shaking a little bit. But emotional stability, if you're not stabilized, if you don't got your mental act together, I gotta get out of here, it's shaking. You're gonna have problems for yourself over here. See, good character, happiness and everything, peace, joy, the opposite of sad and unhappy and downcast and depressed. Good character traits are gonna be for you. So if you can figure out how to stabilize your mental and your emotional state, it's important. And for yourself, that's what it's for, to make you happy. When we improve and we flip those bad feelings, those bad character vibes to the opposites, it's mainly for us. It gives us peace. It makes us happy, So, but if you haven't figured it out yet, women all over the world, they're different than men. They're more an emotional creature. They're not as rational in discussions or whatever. So it takes the man must be the emotionally stable person in a relationship. That's what I'm telling you. You need to be mentally and emotionally stable if you think you're going to get into a relationship with a foreign woman over here, a Filipina. And the reason is not just Filipinas, but women all over the world. Even in the Bible, and it isn't me that's saying it, talks about women being different than a man and having a different purpose, somewhat of a different purpose in the relationship. And there's the building shaking again. And it even uses the word weaker, that they're weaker in some ways. And I'm telling you, it's emotional. It can be an emotional weakness, and some of them will admit that, but it's not my words. But it's in the Bible. It's in the context of men need to be understanding of that. For example, not dismissive, not angry. Although I'm not for Tampo, I am not for Tampo. I can tell you why. But you know, women have a monthly flow. It physically messes with their mind and their emotions. And then, you know, you need to be understanding of that. And then you need to be stable and not fly off the handle and get angry. You need to put up with that. And we need to put up with that. The other thing is, when they have a baby, I have a huge history in home birthing with people that want to do that. I wasn't the midwife, but my family was involved with that for years. And there are women that after the birth, they get very depressed and they need emotional help. I mean, they even want to, they just don't feel like living. It's because their bodies get racked with a lot of juice, you know, from the baby or whatever, the emotions, the hormones. And things shaking here. Maybe I should shut off the video. But I'm just trying to be a little thorough here and trying to give you enough sense that it's okay to be, we all have emotions, especially women. I'm not saying that's good or bad. What I'm saying is somebody needs to be stable. You need to be stable. If you're a rookie, you shouldn't come over here all messed up mentally if you know you're having trouble. Try to figure out how to flip that where you're at, you know, and just be stable, be mentally and emotionally. If you're not, think about how to change the bad vibe you have. It's for your own self. It'll make you happy. If you're sad, figure out how to be happy. If you're lonely, figure out how to be content being alone. You can do it. It happened to me. And I have explanations for it, how I was convinced, how I was convicted of, and it just flipped, and you just can't take it away from me. It's there, man. I got it back. So what I'm saying is you got to be emotionally stable, all right? So hopefully that helps. But financially, no man should get in a relationship unless he's financially stable. In general, there's exceptions, but my point is you need regular income over here or enough savings that you can live here. You're gonna spend money. Some of us don't have budgets. All right, if you're a guy, test yourself. Are you a guy that has budget? If not, what are you going to do over here? How do you know how to manage that? You know, you need to be financially stable and have income. You cannot live here without income or a substantial amount of money, especially if you have so-called Western tastes. I don't call them Western tastes. If you're accustomed to having every comfort, I mean, you got to have AC all the time. You got to have a car. You got to have a house. You got to own land, which you can't own over here, but you can own it through a filipina, and then somewhat she'll own it, and you can get a condo, you can get the highest rent place, you can live in the best cities, have all the health care you want. You're going to spend money. It's going to be somewhat equivalent to America costs, not exactly, somewhat, you know. So you know, the other thing is, how shrewd are you? I mean, in a good way, in a harmless way. If you're not a very shrewd guy, you need to wise up, because a lot of us made mistakes. You've got to understand how naive you are. If you're a rookie and you're talking to women online and you're not sure if you're going to move here or not sure you're going to bring her over there, you don't know what you're getting into. The way to get experience is quit studying the water and get in the water. Get your butt over here for a significant portion of time. I don't mean move. You really won't understand your woman, or yourself until you get over here. There are guys that have been talking to Filipinas online, and they are in love, they're gonna get married, and then 4 years later, they tell them, I don't really have the money. I have a previous wife, I'm divorced, and I can't afford it. 4 years into the relationship. And then, don't be that guy, you know, because it isn't fair to the woman. It isn't fair to you. You're just naive. You know, you could come over here and be running out of money. That happens. There are guys over here right now that are running out of money. And I'm not saying it's a sin. I'm not saying you're going to go to hell. I'm just saying you need to be wise. You need to be emotionally and mentally stable. If you're not, figure out how to do it, because you're going to hurt yourself over here. If you don't do that, you're not going to be happy. And then you need to have enough income that you can float your boat. And if you're in a relationship, you need to take care of that relationship. And, you know, last, just if you know you're a naive guy, you're going to get fleeced online and over here, because there are predatory people, and even the people that aren't predators, they will see you and take advantage of you because you're encouraging it through your stupidity. You know, one of the videos I did recently is, does she really need money? I've lived over here. I can tell you all over the place, they all have phones. Backup. Some of them have backup phones. Even little kids on a little mini bike waiting for dad. He's looking at his phone. They got phones, man. Do they really need a phone? Are they playing that I need a new phone game? If you're falling for that, you're not wise. You're naive. You think you're being generous. You're just not aware of how much money people have over here. The rich you always have with you. I say the rich you always have with you, and there's plenty of rich people over here. They have cars, even little ramshackle. I've done this in another chat, but I want you to understand, if you're a rookie man, even in a ramshackle town where the businesses don't really have doors and they're like shacks, they can have a car. Okay? And almost everybody has a mini bike. Some are new. A lot of them are old. They're kind of like old little putzers, man, all over. So if you don't understand what I mean, you're going to have trouble. I want you to be happy, stable, and able to take care of yourself, so that when you do try to visit here long term to see if you can live here, I would never just move here. You need to get over here. It's so different here, and it'll hit you differently. You can only study online so much. You need to get over here and spend some time and move around to see what it's like. You know, so my talk to you today is to rookie men, old or young, that you need to get your act together. You need to stabilize. If you know you're not stable, turn your attention to yourself. Figure out how to flip your bad attitudes, your bad character, your financial messes, and just get in a good place mentally and financially. That's my advice to you. I hope it helps.